Yes, hi, hello again, and welcome to this webinar series. So right now we are going to talk about the first Microsoft application, which is Excel. Now, as described earlier, Excel is a spreadsheet program which can be used to store and format data, create charts, and run calculations based on available values. Storing data such as attendance, employee invoicing, and store inventory is just really common in Excel. So today we are going to learn a few basics and especially the fundamentals of using Excel, especially in education. Okay, so let's start. So first, let's go ahead and pull up Excel. So let's go ahead and search. We can key in the word Excel right here. Okay, so that's Excel. Yeah. Okay, so let's open Excel. Let's just wait. Okay. There you go. So first thing when you open Excel, okay, um, normally sometimes we tend to open a certain file, an existing file, okay, but for the sake when if it's your first time to open in Excel, okay, um, it will give you an option to create a blank workbook or a templated workbook. For most versions, especially for Microsoft Office 365, Microsoft Office 365 will give you plenty of options to to start with. Okay, so aside from blank workbook, you have the Gantt chart or the Gantt project planner. You have the weekly attendance drop down, and so on and so forth. Okay. Um, I guess some of you guys are using, it could be either Microsoft Excel 2007. Okay, it could be that version. It could be 2010, 2013, 2016. And also maybe some of you are using Microsoft Office 365. Okay. That is the most recent program Microsoft has right now. But if you wanted to see more about the templates, just gonna simply go ahead and click New here. Okay, so here you are going to see a lot of templates aside from displayed earlier. So here you can see, a lot of tutorials in getting to know something about Excel. It's one thing I like about the newest version of Microsoft. It gives you a tutorial on how to do things, especially functions in Microsoft Excel. So we have here drop down tutorial. You have formula tutorial. We have pie charts, some charts. You have a calendar, monthly budget, right? If you wanted to, record all of your expenses and savings in a monthly basis, you have also an annual, right? Um, Also, you have a calendar. You also have chores schedule. Okay, so there's actually basically a lot, right? So it will only depend on you which one of these you would like to use. Okay, but if you are planning to learn like a specific functionality per se, you wanted to learn formula. Okay, like all formulas in Excel. Okay, I suggest you go ahead and learn through this templated formula tutorial. Okay, um, because that is how we use Excel normally, right? Especially if we are to create a blank workbook. Okay, but for the sake, I have already created a pre-formatted Excel. So let's open it up. Okay, so we have right here an existing workbook. By the way, when you say a workbook is like a book. Okay, yeah, obviously it's a book. So the file itself or the Excel file itself, we call it a workbook. Now, every book, as we know, it consists of pages or sheets, right? So each sheet right here is considered as the pages of the book. Okay, so we call the entire file as a workbook here, and we call each pages as the worksheet. Okay, So you have sheet 1, sheet 2, and if you'd like to add more, okay, you just simply need to click this, plus button sign here, okay, and you click new sheet and it will, give you this one, okay, a new sheet, right? And also, of course, if you want to like change the color of each sheet, okay, you may do so by right clicking and then, changing the tab color. I mean, the way you want it, right? Okay. Okay. So let's just remove this. Delete. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's talk about the first task. Okay, let's talk about the basics. Okay, this the basics of Excel. Okay, so here. Okay, now, as we all know, an Excel is made up of, columns and rows. And when they intersect to each other, we call that a cell. Okay. Now this particular cell right here, we call this one cell C4. It is because the column letter is F, and then the row number is 4. So F and 4. So when we read the cell, it always starts with the column and followed by the row. Okay. Also, if you don't know what cell that is per se, this one, okay, you could just simply go on the upper left hand side corner under the quick ribbon here. Okay, you will see, okay, that part right here is cell name. There we go. Right? That's the cell name. There we go. Good. Very well. So this one, I know that this is J11. All right. So you see that right here. Very well. Okay. Now let's start. So let's learn the basics of Excel. So we have right here. So I'm just gonna zoom it in just a moment. Okay. Just zoom it in. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay, so let's learn about text. Okay, now as you can see right here, we have 4 different types of text formatting, right? You have normal, you have bold, you have italic, you have the strike through, and the combination. Okay, so this is how exactly it looks like here. So let's say, let's write Excel. Okay, let's write Excel. Okay, now, as by default, when you key in something, sometimes it is scaled to the left, right? That's how it does in Microsoft Excel. So this is how a normal text looks like. Okay. All right, so nothing fancy at all. Now, if you wanted to, go ahead and copy this text down below, you can just simply hit Control C or copy. And then, yeah, you just need to make sure that there's this marquee right here. It's like a moving lines all throughout. And then that will tell you that this cell is being prepared to be copied to another cell. Okay, so here let's paste it like this. So you could paste it, just simply paste it. Okay, there's actually a lot of paste options. Okay, but for this sake, let's use just the basic paste. Okay, so simply copying and pasting. Also, what you can do is you can, go to the lower right side of the Excel, you can see a very small, box. Okay, it's a dotted box, right? So what you need to do is you need to hover your mouse, okay, here, and then you need to click and hold up until to the cell you wanted to, copy the existing cell. So just like what I'm doing, when I release it, okay, it copies the value from this cell down to these cells. All right. So that's just, basic copying and pasting. Okay. Now, what we need to do next is we need to, explore the text formatting. So let's start with bold. Okay. Now, as you can see right here in this corner, under the Home tab of the quick ribbon, you will see Font, right? And everything here deals with font. Okay, so let's go ahead and do bold. Okay, so you see, all you just need to do is to click this one. It gets to the bold format, or you could do like Control plus B, all right? Control B, Control B. Okay, Control B, Control B. Now, how would you know what is the shortcut of a certain function? Okay, give you a tip. For you to know a certain shortcut of a certain function in Excel, maybe in Word or in a PowerPoint presentation, all you need to do is to hover, simply hover your mouse to that certain icon. For example, this one. So just let your mouse stay there for about 3 seconds, and you will see that the shortcut of the bold is Control B. For italic, you have Control I. For underlined, you have Control U, and so on and so forth. So that's actually some kind of a life hack, right? So if you wanted to know, if you wanted to master keyboard shortcuts, you just simply, hover your mouse over to that certain icon. Okay. Okay. So let's go ahead and learn italic. So italic here, and you have strike through. Okay, so you might be wondering why. Where is the strike through here? Okay, thing is, if you're working with Google Sheets actually has the options to let you strike through a certain text. But for the sake of Excel, okay, what we need to do is we need to click on this one. Okay, you could do right click, or if you see this icon right here, it's like an arrow pointing to the lower right. It's a diagonal arrow. It pertains to more options. Okay, so every part on the quick ribbon will show you the clipboard, right? Or the more options for every part of the tab. So let's click this one. Okay, and this will, pop in. Okay, more options about the font. Okay, so here, let's see. Okay, here we go. So you will see an option for you to strike through a certain text. So let's click on that, and it will basically look like this. Okay, it's like a text with the underline in the middle. So let's click OK, and then what's gonna happen is that you will get the text here strike through. Okay, now let's use combination. So let's have it bold, italic, and then I'm gonna have it strike through. Okay, so that's how it looks like pretty much. Okay. Now let's talk about numbers. Now for numbers, we actually have variations of numbers in Excel. And Excel, by the way, is very, very strict when it comes to numbers. Okay. It is because in most parts, I would say 90% of it is that we use numbers in dealing with Excel, especially when dealing with formulas, right? Okay, so if it's just a simple number, we call it an integer, yeah, or a number, an integer, nothing fancy at all. Let's start. So 5. Okay. Now, if you wanted to have it decimal. Let's just say 119.75, something. You could do something like that, right? You could simply write it down like, um, let's just say 107 point. Okay, hold up. Sorry about that. Okay, so you could have like one. Okay, so you could have 107. Um, let's just say 107.5. Yeah, you can just directly put the decimal um, symbol right there, something like that, right? But if it's just a very simple integer, like a whole number, let's just say 1, something like that, 5 ones, okay? Now, as you can see, there's no decimal symbol right here because I didn't put that at the very first place. So what I can do is I could simply click on this, and you need to look for the home tab on the quick ribbon, and then you need to look for the category that says number here. Okay. Now, as you can see, you have a lot of options. But if you wanted to increase and decrease the decimal value, okay, see this two right here? Okay. This one pertains to um, increasing the decimal value, decimal places. This one pertains to decreasing the decimal places. So since I want to put and increase the decimal places and add the decimal place on it, so I'm gonna click on this, and it will give me dot 0, and then dot 00. Okay. And the decimal increasing and decreasing functionality will also, round the value over to the nearest hundreds or nearest tens or to the nearest numbers. Okay. So if it's 1 to 5, I'm sorry, it's 0 to 4, it gets um to to the nearest lowest value. If it's 5 to 9, it gets to the nearest highest value, which is 10 or 0, right? Now, next you have percentage. So let's try 108.666, something like that. Okay, so if you wanted to apply percentage, click on percentage, something like that, and this will give you 108.67%. Okay. For the currency, let's just say 99. I'm gonna go ahead and then, click this dollar symbol here. Okay. And then it will give me this one. Okay. How about if we change the currency to something? Okay. Now all you need to do is to click this drop down option right here. Okay. Now you need to look for number. Okay, but if you wanted to have more currencies, you need to scroll it down and look for more number formats. So you click on that, and then this pops in, and then here you will see a lot of category under numbers, right? So you have general, you have number, um, you have currency, you have accounting, you have date, time, percentage, fraction, scientific, text, special, and custom. Okay, so since we wanted to change the currency symbol to, let's just say, Philippine peso. Okay, so you just need to, drop this thing down and you look for uh, peso element PH element of PQRST. There we go, PHP. Okay, so click on that and then hit OK. So we'll give you 99 pesos. Okay, now for the accounting, accounting, by the way, we normally use this when we try to, for example, if you guys wanted to like have an entry for an accounting, close and open parenthesis actually symbolizes that value is negative, right? So let's, for example, 1,401, like that. Okay. Now for accounting, you just simply click drop down here and you look for accounting, like that. Okay. Now since if you try to notice, if you happen to notice, we don't actually see the close and open parenthesis. Is this because since this is a positive value, it doesn't show the it doesn't show the close and open parenthesis, right? So all we need to do is, let's just say this is a negative number. So I'm gonna put like a minus symbol before 1,401. Okay, so see what happens. There we go. That means that this number is negative. Okay. Now for scientific, this actually is very effective when you have like a number with a series of zeros. Okay, or simply saying it's a very very long number, per se one, for example, something like this. Okay, so if it's um formatted to scientific, it will basically look like this. Okay, so how do we know that, or how do we do that rather, is you simply go ahead and click drop down again here. Okay, and then you look for here, scientific. So it will give you this option, right? So 1.00e plus 26, that pertains to the number of zeros you have. So let's have the date. So let's say the date, November, let's say November, let's just say 10, 2020. That's okay. So let's just say the date is November 10, 2020. This cell is already pre-formatted. Okay, but I want to change the date into this kind of format, date long. So all I need to do is simply go ahead and click drop down and click long date. Okay, but the thing is, whenever you see hashtags or pound signs like this actually means that this cell is short when it comes to the width. So you need to expand this a little bit, right? So something like that. Okay, still short. Okay, there we go. Right? Now, I'm gonna give you a very good, tip on how you are going to right fit a certain width to a certain cell. For example, if you see this, bunches of pound symbols. Now, all you need to do is you need to highlight, okay, the whole column, for example, column D, and then you need to hover your mouse on the tip of that border on the right, okay, and then you need to make sure that you will see this kind of symbol, okay. It looks like a cross with arrows on both left and right side. Now all you need to do is to simply double click on that when you see that icon. So double click, and then you will see that it just right fits um, the entire text. Okay, this is the long date. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and copy this one all the way down to the bottom. Okay, okay. So let's see. I wanted to have it date short. So drop down, look for short date. Looks like this. Okay, okay. Now you might be wondering why their format or formats are different. Okay. Now how about if you wanted to, let's just say, make it the same, like 1-12 or 1 or 11-11, something like that. Now, all you need to do is you need to go back here, okay, and go to more number formats, and under the date, you will see here bunches of options on how you would like to have your date formatted, right? Now, since we wanted to have it like just the month and the date, so I'm gonna go ahead and click this one, so it will look like this basically. Okay, so click, and then let's see. So they are just the same, 112, 11, 11. Okay, so when you go to each and every options here under the number category under home tab, okay, um, there are a lot of options when you just click more number formats. Okay, so here you have date text long, date text long. Okay, there we go. And you have, no, this one is short. I'm sorry, this short date, and this one is long date. Okay, all right. So that's how you pretty much format everything on, the dates. For basic calculations, we actually have five in Excel. You have addition. It's simply presented by the plus symbol. You have the subtraction, presented by the minus symbol. You have multiplication, simply presented by this one. You call it an asterisk. Okay, looks like a star. Small star. For division, you have forward slash, and then for the exponent, you have the caret. Okay. Function or a certain equation, it always starts with an equal symbol. That's how you declare a certain equation or function in an Excel cell. Okay, so for this, let's try 6. So I'm gonna go ahead and key in equal symbol plus 3, and it would show 9. Okay, 6 plus 3 equals 9. So same here, equal symbol, 6 minus 3. There we go. And then let's have equal symbol, 6 times 3, 18. You have 6 divided by 3, 2. And then for the exponent, 6 caret 3. Okay, the caret symbol can be found on number 6 on your keyboard. So 216. That's pretty much the arithmetic. Okay, let's go ahead and move forward to the order of operations. Okay, here on Excel, we follow this order of operations, PEMDAS, PEMDAS. Okay, so when you go with every equation in Excel, it always starts with parenthesis and then exponential or exponent, and then you have multiplication and division. That's from left to right. It always starts with multiplication and then division and then addition and subtraction. Okay, this is always the rules in doing equation and functions in Excel. So it follows PEMDAS. Okay, so let's just say 5 plus 8 equals 13, right? With the second equations, you have close and open parenthesis, 5 plus 8, and then the caret symbol 2. Okay, now again, the rules follows PEMDAS, so it always forces the equation inside a parenthesis or a set of parentheses. Okay, so here, since we have 5 plus 8, okay, so the cell will certainly execute this equation first. So 5 plus 8 is equals to 13, and then 13 times 13. Okay, that makes 116, 169, sorry. That's 169. Okay, so here 4 divided by 12, that's 0.33333. Okay, again, if you wanted to increase or decrease the decimal places, you can simply go ahead and click this one. Okay, so you have the next equation. You have 4 divided by 12 times 3. Okay, that makes 1. It is because the equation went to 4 divided by 12 first. Okay, so let's see. Uh, 4 divided by 12, that's 0.3333. And then when you add um, times 3, that makes 1. However, on the following equation, which it enclosed numbers 12 and 3 inside a parenthesis, so let's see. So what will happen is that this equation will forcibly execute 12 times 3 first. Okay, so let's see, 12 times 3, that's 36. Now, when you add the rest of the equation, 4 divided by um, 12 times 3 inside a close and open parenthesis, that makes 0.111111111. Okay. So again, thing here is that parenthesis always, forces executes a certain operation first. Okay, or an equation first. Okay. So here you have 5 plus 8, and then exponent by 2 minus 4 divided by 12 times 3. Okay, it results to 164. Again, it follows this one, 5 plus 8, and then exponent here, 2, and then we have the division. So 4 divided by 12, and then times 3, and then what is the result here will be subtracted by the result here on the left. Okay, so again, PEMDAS, parenthesis, exponent, um, you have multiplication, division, and then subtraction, or addition if you have so. So that will simply result to 168. So basic formatting, pretty much you guys know all about this already. You have a horizontal align left, so that's Control L, right? And then you have in the middle here, Control E, and then Control R for the right. You also have vertical align top, vertical align middle, and vertical align bottom. Here you will see that these are two sets of alignment. One is for the vertical alignment, and the second one is for the horizontal alignment. Okay, it is because you can scale the size of an Excel bigger the way you've wanted. So that's the reason why there's two kinds of alignment in Excel. vertical alignment and horizontal alignment. Okay, so you have left, middle, right, top, middle, bottom. Okay, so here, basic text formatting, you have the text color. Okay, so you can see that option right here. If you wanted to change the text color, you can just simply, hit the drop down arrow, and then let's say here, I'm gonna click gold accent 3 here. For the fill color, the text fill, okay, that's the icon, right? That font color. So hit drop down. I'm gonna change this. Let's just say blue here. For text wrapping, per se, you want it to fit, a certain sentence or a phrase. It's pretty much long for a cell. However, you want it, you don't want to, stretch the cell so it won't occupy a lot of space. All you need to do is to simply hit this button that says wrap text. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and click wrap text. So I'm sorry, I unwrap, by the way. So when you say unwrap, okay, this sentence that says this text is very long, so I want to wrap it to keep the column dimensions right. Okay, this is just on one cell here. So as you can see, on one cell. Okay, so if I want to wrap this certain cell up, I just need to click wrap text and it gets everything fit. So when I stretch this particular cell, I can see that all texts are stretched, and it is basically adjusting to the level of the width this column has. Okay, now for merging cell, okay, all you need to do is to highlight maybe 2 3 cells and then you hit merge and then it gets merged. Okay, so merge, there you go. Okay, so that's how you certainly merge cell. Okay, so next you have borders, right? So if you wanted to add borders to a certain set of cells, all you need to do is to highlight those cells and then you go here. It says borders, okay? But if you wanted to add borders to every parts of your cell, you click drop down and you click all borders. So it will add not just the top and the bottom, left and right. It will also add the border on the middle, okay? So right here. Okay, so these are actually pretty much the basics for the Excel. You have the text, you have numbers, you have the dates, you have basic calculations and order of operations. Okay, so let's now go ahead and move on to task 2, cell references. Okay, now when it comes to referencing a cell, there are actually two types of referencing. You have first the relative references. Okay, when you say relative references, it actually copies the attributes from one set of cell or cells to another. Okay, you have the second one, you have the absolute references. Okay, so this means actually, no matter how many cells you try to copy a certain function or text for, okay, it will still always result to exact same kind of source cell, right? So I'm gonna show you how it looks like. So here we are to compute um, 1 and 3, right? So we're going to multiply here, column 1, that's column B, and then you have column 3 or column D, right? So for us to do this, okay, we need to start again with, an equal symbol. I'm gonna zoom it, okay? So equal symbol, and then open parenthesis. Okay. Now the thing about um, you know, referencing is that um, if you just plainly put in the numbers exactly, okay, um, when you decided to copy that certain equation down to the next set of cells, that won't do. I'm gonna show you. Okay, so let's start with water. Okay, so that's $0.30, right? Times, okay, maybe I could just remove the parenthesis. It is fine. And then multiply it by number 3, which is quantity purchased. Okay, that's 20, yeah, 20. Okay, so let's see how much will be the cost of goods sold. Okay, so that's 6.16, right? That's $0.30 times 20. That makes 6.16, right? Actually, there should be, this should be dollars, right? Okay, there you go. 6.16. Now, the thing is that this kind of equation is static. When you say static, okay, even if I change this part right here, the unit cost and the quantity purchased, this will not change at all. Okay, I'm gonna show you how. Okay, so let's just say the price or the unit cost changed the other day. So it went up to, let's just say $0.50, right? But if you happen to notice, the cost of goods sold did not change at all. It is because the value we have right here is static, right? So for us to, for us to do this, okay, all we need to do is we need to reference this certain function to certain set of cells. Okay, so how do we do it? Is that again we start with an equal symbol, and then instead of writing down the $0.30, all we need to do is to click on this amount, 0.30, and then you multiply it by um, that quantity purchased, which is this one, $20. Okay, so that makes $6, right? Okay, now for you to know that your equation is right, you just need to simply double click the cell. And if you happen to notice the color B6 is blue, that pertains to this cell, okay, and the color of D6 pertains to this cell, okay, so blue and red, okay. So I can simply, bring the equation all the way down, so I could, simply copy everything right here, okay. So basically this one has this equation, okay, banana, $0.10 times 12, that makes $1.20. For the revenue, that's selling price times the quantity sold, right? So how do we do that? Equal symbol and then selling price times quantity sold. Hit enter and that makes $18, right? Okay, so you just need to drop it down again and it will give you the result just like that. Okay. That is relative references, meaning this set of cells rather follows row 6, okay, for unit cost, sell price, quantity purchased, and quantity sold, okay. That's for relative references. However, for absolute references, it is actually different. Okay. Now, let's just say I'm gonna go ahead and do all these, right? So 1 times 2, so equal symbol, quantity times the cost, quantity times the cost here, and then cost. Okay. Hit enter, it's $6, and then I'm gonna go ahead and copy this all the way down. Okay, that's right, because it's 1 times 2, right? So column 1, which is quantity, times column 2. However, here, okay, revenue follows the equation quantity times selling price. Okay, so instead of writing the equation again or all the way to the left from the cost of goods sales to the revenue, um, what I can do here is I can simply edit the equation or the formula, and then since I am scaling it to the right, okay, leaving that both of the equation relies on the quantity, so I need to make this particular cell absolute. Okay, now, since each item here, both on cost of goods sales and revenue, relies on the quantity for water, soft drink, milk, banana, cereal, right? So I need to go ahead and then fix that certain column, which is this one. Okay. So all I need to do is I need to add that dollar symbol, okay, to make that absolute. Okay. And then even if I scroll it all the way down, it will still always fall on that particular um, cell. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. So that's 6, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and scroll it all the way down, still be the same. However, here I can scroll it to the right, drag it to the right, and it gives me $20 because 20 times 1, that makes $20, right? So if you happen to notice, okay, it gives me the same cell, right? That's B15, okay? Because normally when you don't have the dollar symbol right here, say this one, what's gonna happen is, okay, so it gives me this kind of equation. It actually moved to the next column, which is column C, right? So instead of giving me $20, it gave me $0.30. So I'm gonna fix this. So I'm gonna put dollar symbol here again, hit enter, and then drag it to the right. There we go, $20. So I can scroll it all the way down, and rest assured that this relies on that column B under quantity, right? Okay, there we go. Okay. So what I just did is I did, this particular column absolute by adding the dollar symbol. But if you happen to notice, okay, um, the row changes. 15, you have 16, right? And then 17, 18, and 19. Okay, so I just made the the column absolute. But the question is, can we do it both? I mean, on both? The answer is yes. We can make the column and then the row absolute, right? So here in this exercise, we are to calculate sales tax, which is 8%, right? So how do we compute sales tax? All we need to do is to multiply 1 here. Okay, so we need to multiply the tax rate to 4, which is this one, the pre-tax revenue. Okay, so I got some of these pre-calculated already. So first to do this, okay, we need to put equal symbol. And since every cell down here, okay, will always depend on this cell C21, C21, okay, we need to make both column and rows absolute. Okay, for us to do it, okay, so I'm gonna click this cell C21, and then I'm gonna go ahead and multiply it to 4, which is this one. Okay, so for us to make it absolute for both column and row, again, we need to simply add the dollar symbol on column and on row. So even if I drop this, equation down, everything here from soft drink, milk, banana, and cereal will go all the way here to tax rate, which is C21. Okay, now this is how it looks like. Now, here it is still C21, right? Here it is still C21. Here, C21. Because we just made that certain um, cell, which is C21, for both column and row absolute. Okay. Now the rest of the equations has been solved already for the pre-tax revenue and for the revenue. Okay, you just simply add pre-tax revenue and then the sales tax. It results to this. Okay, so here plus here equals to revenue, and also down here. Okay, very well. So let's have the quantity. So cost of uh, goods sold. So you have 1, which is the quantity, 20. times 2, which is selling price. So per se, we have 20 items for all of these. Okay, so all we need to do, again, equal symbol. Okay, click C30 times the cost. And don't forget to add the dollar symbol for both column and row, and it will give you this one. Okay, it's $6, right? Because 0.30 times 20 is $6. And then I need to, drop this all the way down, and it will still, get the same quantity, which is 20. So every item here from water down to 0 have 20 for the quantity. Okay, for the revenue, that's 1 times 3. Okay, so here, equal symbol, go back to C30, and then times 3, which is the selling price. Okay, then don't forget to add dollar symbol for both column and row. Hit enter, and then you will have this. Okay, so again, it's 1 times 3, or it's the quantity times the selling price equals this one. Very well. So that's cell references. Thank you so much. So let's continue with task 3, which is the basic functions. Okay. Well, I like this one. Okay. Most of us actually are using some of the equation we have right here for the basic functions. Okay. So um, for us to know few of the most used equations, let's go ahead and do this task. Okay. So we have here concatenate or concat. When you say concat, this is to like combine certain text from, from cells to make it as one. Okay, so here, first and last name, let's try to combine all first and last names. Okay, so for us to do this, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and write concatenate. Okay, don't forget to write the whole thing down. Okay, and then if you happen to notice, by the way, you will see there um, an option telling you what should be the things inside a certain function, right? And it will be way too easy to determine on which um, stage are you. Okay. For example, this one, so I just wrote down concatenate and then text one. Okay. You happen to notice that text one is being bolded. That means that it is looking for a certain text, and I am on that particular part of the function. So what is text one? So since I wanted to combine a first name and then last name, I can click this one. Okay. Now, if you wanted to add space, right? So if you wanted to add space, what you can do is you need to hit comma, okay, and then you add single colon, space. I'm sorry, that's double colon. My bad. Double colon, and then double colon. Okay. And then we need to add the last name. So I'm gonna click B14, and then I'm gonna close the function and then hit enter. It will give me Rigoberto Montoya for the first and last name, right? So if we try to drop this all the way down, it will give us Raquel Pierce, Beverly Landry, Lisa Villa, and so on and so forth. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to compute their annual salary, right? So how do we compute annual salary? Okay, it's very simple. So the monthly salary times 12, right? So equal sign, and then you take that cell, multiply it by 12, the number of months in a year, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and drop this all the way down. So how about if I wanted to see some decimal places on these. So I'm gonna go ahead and increase this decimal value like that. So I could see their annual salary, right? So here, next is how do we split? Okay, so per se, you have a certain entry, and then you wanted to split it to 2 or 3 cells, right? Okay, Now, on Google Sheets, what we use is we use this function split. But here on Excel, what we can do is we can use the option, I call it split still because I'm used to it, using Google Sheets. But for this sake, okay, what you need to do is you need to, click that certain cell, okay, to where that text is coming from, and then you click data, okay. There's a data tab, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the fifth tab from the home tab of a quick ribbon. And then you see this data tools that says text to column. Okay. So you just need to click that, and then this, okay, pop up will come out, and then it will ask you to choose the file type that best describes your data, right? I wanted to have it delimited, okay. But as by default, when you wanted to separate text, you need to choose delimited. Okay, so you hit next. Okay, so what is your delimiter or delimiters? When you say delimiters, it's another way of saying you're a separator from one text to another. Now, if you try to see right here, okay, the word Phoenix and the abbreviation for Arizona, AZ, is separated by comma, right? So what I need to select here is comma right here. So as you can notice, every time I click, comma, it somehow, divides these words. Okay. So let's go ahead and click comma and then hit next. This is how it will look like. Okay. Now, if you happen to notice right here, it asks you for the destination, meaning where the word Phoenix and the abbreviation AZ goes to. Now, if you wanted to set it to a certain, set of cells, all you can do is, or all you need to do is to simply click on this one. Don't forget to click this one. And then you go back here and then you start clicking this cell and then to the right, because this is where you wanted to have, your output displayed, right? So once you are done, you simply hit to replace it, and there we go. Okay. So I got, Phoenix and AZ separated. So, okay, now since I have wanted to, separate everything right here, okay. So all I need to do is I need to go back to the data tab, and then I need to, click text to column, but before that I need to highlight, okay, rows 14 to 19, hit text to columns, okay, and then again delimited, don't forget, next, and they should be separated by a comma like that, and then next, and then I need to select the destination, so I'm gonna go ahead and click this, okay, and then hit finish, and then yeah, there we go. Okay, so I got them separated. So again, if you wanted to combine text from 2, 3, 4, 5 cells, you need to use concatenate. Okay, here, this is just basically effective for Google Sheet. But if you're using Excel, you need to use, or you need to go to data, and then you need to go to um, here, text to columns, right? If you wanted to separate um, text and put it to certain cells, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and compute their um, age, monthly salary, yeah, monthly salary and the annual salary, right? So let's talk about the age first. So total of the age, so what we need to use is the function sum, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and put the equal symbol, key in word sum, open parenthesis, and then you need to select set of numbers. So since I'm gonna total their ages, so I need to hold and select E14 to E19, close parenthesis, and then hit um, enter, and that gives me 216. Okay, now let's have the average for the age. So for us to do this, okay, you have equal symbol, and then you need to look for average. Okay, open parenthesis here, and then let's look for the average. I'm sorry, the age here, E14 to E19, close parenthesis, and then that's 44.5. So if you sum it all up, okay, here it gives us the result of 267, and then when we divide it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it gives us 44.5. Now here, if you guys want to know the max, when we say max, that's the highest number on a certain range. Okay, so all we need to do is to write down max, okay, and then look for that range of numbers here. Okay, still E14 to E19, close parenthesis, it will give me 49 as the max age for this set of numbers, right? 49. Here, min, meaning the minimum, okay, equal symbol, look for min, open parenthesis, and then the number range, E14 to E19, and it gives me 40, right? 40. Okay, and for the median, okay, the number in the middle, again, equal symbol, look for median, and then open parenthesis, select the number range, close parenthesis, and it will give me 45 as the median range. What it did is that it actually just looked for what is the middle from the highest to the lowest. Since the highest is 49 and then the lowest is 40, okay, obviously the median for these two numbers will be 45, right? It's not shown right here, but it shows what is the median from these set of numbers, right? So if you wanted to go to the monthly salary and the annual salary, you'll just, basically do exactly the same way, right? So how about if we wanted to know the number of people, right? So for the number of people, all we need to do is to use this one, count. Okay, so let's try to count. So let's key in equal sign, count. Okay, so it looks for, or I mean, it is looking for value 1. Okay, meaning it is looking for certain range of data for you to test. Okay, now the difference between count and count A is that for count, it only counts certain set of cells that has numbers on it. Okay, for count A, it counts a certain set of cells as long as it is not blank. Okay, so I'm gonna show you. So since I wanted to count the number of people, and there are a lot of numbers right here, but I prefer to choose the age because it's shorter. So that's E14 to E19, and then when I hit enter, it gives me 6. For count A, since count A can count everything, including numbers, so let's try names, or just last names maybe here. Okay, hold up. So count A, and then here, and then close parenthesis gives me 6. Because count A is capable of counting everything as long as the cell is not blank. Okay, so that is pretty much the basic functions. For Excel, you have concatenate, you have sum, average, median, min, max, count, and count A. Okay, so next we are going to talk about here. Okay, so right now let's go ahead and talk about error messages. This is the part to where we need to somehow master, I guess. It is because if you know better about error messages, it will make your life easy when you use Excel. Okay, if you know how to read error messages, it will make your Excel usage very easy. Okay, so let's start about. We have here a few. Okay, or I would say these are the most um, error messages in Excel. Okay, you have this one. This occurs when the second parameter of a division is 0. Okay. Um, this one, pound sign value. This occurs when your formula is expecting a certain data type as an input but receives the wrong type. For example, if your formula is expecting for a number and then it gave like a letter, a text, that becomes wrong. This one, pound sign ref or ref. This occurs when there is an invalid cell reference from circular dependency or deleted cell row or column. So when you try to reference something from a certain cell and let's just say it was deleted, okay, this normally pops in, pound sign ref. Now um, name of course when there is an error in your formula syntax, right? For example, if you have like a typo error, if you mistype something, especially in your formula, this comes in. Okay, you have pound sign num. This is of course when the formula contains a numeric value that is not valid. Okay, even though if it's a number, there are some number values that are invalid. Okay, and then you have the pound sign na, of course, when the value is not available. Um, for example, it's not found, something like that. And then for the error, it occurs when Google Sheets. This just um, solely applicable to Google Sheets, but sometimes this comes in with Microsoft Excel. So let's go ahead and start. For example, this one, name. So if we try to look at, there is like an error that says pound sign name. So if we try to look at the equation right here, mm, there is really something wrong, okay? The name of the function is wrong, so we need to remove the at symbol, and then we need to add letter E, okay? So hit enter, and it gives you Rigoberto Montoya, okay? This one, let's see. Yeah, the name of the function is right. However, there is this at symbol, okay, which is wrong. So what we need to do is we need to remove this, okay? And then we need to text 1 here and then put comma. If you wish to add a space between the name, first name and last name, okay, comma, and then double quotes with space in between, and then comma again, and then hit the last name, and it should give you yeah, it should give you this one, Valentin Ramirez, right? So we got it right now. Okay, this one, let's just say concatenate, then a space. Obviously, this one is not right, so we need to change. Double quote, space, then double quote, hit enter, then it's Benedict Carne. Okay, so we got it fixed for the name. How about this one? Value, let's see. So E13 times T13. So male times monthly salary. Obviously, that's text times number, so that won't be right. So for us to get this right, we need to move, okay, these cells to the right. So instead of multiplying the gender to the monthly salary, that should be monthly salary to the number of months. So for us to do this, okay, let's start all over, equal symbol, and then monthly salary times number of months, and there we go. Okay, here, let's see. Okay, that's right. How about this one? So this one gives us an error message that says pound sign div. Okay, this means that you can't divide numbers to 0 because it will basically, give you this error message. Not unless if we change this one. So let's just say change it to 2. That makes 2,316. However, since the equation talks about division, it should be um, the asterisk symbol right here, or the multiplication symbol. Okay, so that gives me 9,264 for a monthly salary times 2. Okay, good. And then for the total number of months, all we need to do is to, sum all of these, right? However, there's something wrong. It is because from F13 to F16, obviously, total number of months should be excluded. So what we need to do is we need to sum cells F13, 14, and 15. So we need to change F15, 16 to 15 right there. Okay, 10, 5 plus 3, 8 plus 2, 10. Okay, total number of months. So let's see. F17, 13, 14, 15. So something is not right here. I guess this one. Okay, this total number of months, F70. So we need to simply remove this. Okay, removing. And there you go. It should give you 10, right? Okay, so right now let's go ahead and talk about some, advanced functions for Microsoft Excel. Okay, so we have here quite a few. Okay, and then we will be learning most of these. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. So we have right here. Okay. Okay, so we have right here first and last name, you have the gender, you have the age, monthly salary, female, and over 45 years old, and male or less than 45 years old. So how did we get each and every, thing on the yellow cells? Okay, so we have right here a certain set of data, right? So it actually gave us the name, the gender, marital status, and the age. Okay. Okay. So we will be extracting a few data from here. We put it to our Excel. Okay. So earlier, this was actually okay blank. So I'm gonna, clear the content like that. Okay. So let's see. So how am I going to know what is the gender of Rigoberto Montoya, Valentin Ramirez, and then also um, Benedict Carney, Lisa Villa, Beverly Landry, Raquel Pierce, and Melba Beasley. Okay. So we are going to use this function. We call it Vlookup. Okay. So VLOOKUP is just simply a search function which will, give you the capability to search something on a certain set of data. Okay. So here you need to follow this format. You need to have the search key and then the range and then the index and it's sorted if it's true or false. Okay. So let's start. So let's key in VLOOKUP. Okay. Now, if you happen to notice, okay, it is actually looking for. Okay, hold on. Let me just put it right away. Okay, it's actually looking for lookup value. You will know on which part of the function you are. It is because this guide will, bold that certain part of the function. And right now, what should I be looking um, at should be the lookup value, right? So I should be looking at this one, okay? Because I am trying to look at Rigoberto Montoya from this data right here, okay? So I need to put in comma, okay? And it's looking for a table array. So table array, since this is our table array, we need to, okay, select everything from top to bottom like that. Okay. And when you get back right here, it will give you this result. And then you hit comma again. It's looking for a column index number. Okay. Since it's looking for a column index number, we know columns are represented by letters, but when you use VLOOKUP, you don't use letters in representing columns. We use numbers. So here, um, for us to know which column, or column number that particular set of data you're looking for, you just need to count from 1. So it should always start to 1. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so name 1, gender 2, marital status 3, and age 4. Now, since I'm looking for the gender, I should be looking at column index number 2. So I need to key in right here 2. Okay, and then comma, and then I suggest we always choose false for the exact match. Okay, because when you choose approximate match, it sometimes also fetches the data that has exactly or almost exactly the same kind of spelling. Okay, rather than exact match. Okay, you're looking for that, exact spelling and the casing. So let's choose false. All right, let's write down false and then hit enter. So I would know that Rigoberto Montoya is a male. Let's see. There you go. He is a male. Now, since I wanted to copy this function all the way down here, okay, and remember referencing. Again, when we, move this particular function down here, it gives you these results. Why? It is because when you tend to move this, okay, the cell ranges also changes. So what we need to do is to make, you know, hold on. Okay, so we need to make this table array absolute. And how do we do that? Again, we just need to add dollar symbol. So dollar symbol to this column, dollar symbol to this row, another dollar symbol to this column, and another dollar symbol to this row. And you hit enter, and then you start dragging it all the way down. Okay, so Valentin Ramirez, let's see, it's a female. Very good. You also have Beverly Landre. Let's see, Beverly. It's a male. Very well. That's pretty much it, right? Thank you. Now, let us continue for the age. So it will be exactly the same way. Okay, we look up for the name, right? Because I'm looking for the age of these persons right here. And then I need to look for the table array here. And then I need to go back and I need to change, I need to look for the column index for the age. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? Okay, age is column number 4. I need to write then 4, and then again false. And again, we need to have the table array absolute. We need to add dollar symbol, another dollar symbol, and a dollar symbol. And that gives me Rigoberto Montoya, age of 40. There you go. Right? Okay. So let's go ahead and try to drop the equation down. Boom. There we go. Right. Okay. So let's see. How about this one? Okay. So we are trying to look for a female and also at the same time over 45 years old. Now, first, if you guys wanted to look for just female, okay, what we need to use is we need to use the if. Okay. Now, how to do it? Equal symbol. If, open parenthesis. It is looking for a logical test. Okay. So you are looking if this one is equals to female, right? So as you can see, okay, as you can see, I am done putting in the logical test, which is B17 is equals to a string or a text female. Okay, and I need to put down comma, and it's looking for a value if it's true. So if it's true, I would say it is true, right? Since this is a text, okay, true. And then value if it's false, okay, false. Close it, and then it gives me false. Why? It is because Rigoberto Montoya isn't a female, right? However, this column right here is looking for a female and at the same time over 45 years old. So how do we do that? We need to combine if and and. Okay, so how about this one? How about if we are to look for a female, okay, someone who is a female and is over 45 years old. So let us use, two functions, that's if and and. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So equal symbol, if, and then open parenthesis, and then you put and. Okay, it is because you need to first see if two things are met. If you happen to notice here, okay, the guide says that it is looking for a logical expression 1, or the first logical expression. So I need to test if the column gender has the text that says female. So what I need to do is to click on this cell, B17, okay, and then equal to see if it's the same with this particular text that I'm looking for, which is open quotes, female, close quotes. Okay. Now you put comma after that first logical expression. Now, the end function is looking for the second logical expression, which is age, right? So we need to look for someone who is above 45 at the same time a female. Okay. So here we need to go to the column age, click on that cell, and then write down or key in greater than 45. Okay. Now these two right here, B17 equals open quotes and close quotes female, comma, C17 greater than 45 are my logical expression 1 and logical expression 2. Okay. Since I'm done, all I need to do is to close it using close parenthesis, and then right now the if function is looking for, yep, it is looking for a value, right? It is looking for a value if it's true. So what if this person is a female and also at the same time is 45 years old and above? Okay, so I need to have a certain text displayed. So I'm gonna put down yes if it's true, and then no if it's false. Okay. So you would also know that you got the function or the equation completed is because you won't see the the guided text down here that says what to do next, right? So hit enter and it will show me no. Why? It is because, yep, Regoberto Montoya is a male, and obviously it's not 45 years old and above, right? So we can just scroll this all the way down, and as you can see there are no's and yeses, right? So the second one says yes. Let's see. It's because Valentine Ramirez is a female and she is 45 years old and above, same as here. um Here, okay, so you also have Raquel Pierce, female, and also 45 years old and above. Okay, so let's do the other one. This one is, or this column is looking for a male or, okay, someone who is 45 years old and younger. Again, or, okay. Regardless of the age or the gender, we are looking for either it could be a male or 45 years old and below. So how do we do that? We just simply combine if and or. Okay, so it will still look like how we did on the end. So if, then or, and then logical expression number 1, gender equals to, since we're looking for a male, type for the search string male, comma, and then it is looking for logical expression number 2, which is the age. Age should be less than or equal to 45, and then you close it, and then it is now looking for a value if it's true. So if it's true, it will display yes. And if it's not true, okay, it will display no. Well, you can choose your value depending on how would you like it, right? So you can change this one or this one. Okay. Maybe you can say that yes, it is true, or no, it is it is false, right? So you can have it that way depending on how would you like to have your value displayed, right? So it says right here, yes, it is true. Now let's see. Now Rigoberto Montoya is a male, and also at the same time he is less than 45. So I'm gonna try to drop this down. Let's see. This one is yes. Okay, Benedict Carne is a male, and he is also less than 45 years old. This one. You have Lisa Villa. She's a female, though, but her age is 40 years old, which is less than 45, right? Same as Beverly. Beverly is over 45. He is 48 years old, but he is a male. So the answer is yes, it is true, right? And so on and so forth. Now, let's go back here. You have Melba Beasley. So we can just simply, drag this equation down. But if you happen to notice, it gives us this one, an A. Okay? It means that there is something wrong about the data to where it is referenced to. Okay? Now, if you happen to notice, okay, these names right here are fetched from this table array, right? Now, since there is something wrong, maybe if we try to look at the name, since we're looking for the gender of Melba Beasley, let's see. Melba Beasley. So I guess this is the problem. Okay, there is no entry that says Melba Beasley. There is Martin Beasley though, and Melba Buchanan, but there's no Melba Beasley. So that's the reason why it gave you this wrong result. Okay, so how do we avoid this one? Per se, if you don't want this pound sign, then NA displayed. For example, if there is an error message, so we use if error. For example, if it is error, okay, all I can do is, hold on. So I can, you know, put this particular function inside an if error function. So I'm gonna write down if error, okay, then this is the value, and then comma, okay. Since this is already fixed, we are fine with this because we are trying to find Melba Beasley in this table array, right? Now, let's say, what is the value if it's error? So I'm gonna put down this person is not on the list. Okay, let's try that. Okay, yeah, it actually popped in. It is because Melba Beasley is not present in this table array. Okay, that's good. So let's move on. Now let's actually learn um, here. So let's learn number of females. So how do we count the number of females? It will be very simple. We are just going to use count if. Count if, and then you have the range and the criterion. Okay, so how do we do that? Okay, hold up. So let's see. Okay, all right. So equals symbol, count F. Okay. So first, it is looking for a range. Range of what? Range of cells that you wanted to see how many females are there. Since you are looking for um, the gender, we need to set this range, right? So that's from B17 to B23 as the range of your function, and then comma. It's looking for a criteria. So if you're looking for female, I can use the word female. Okay, exactly the same way as how it was being spelled. So female, right? So I am done with my criteria. So it means that I am looking for this range from B17 to B23 if this shows a text that says female. So hit enter, it will give me 3, right? 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so let's say number of individuals who is over 45. So at this moment, we are talking about the age, right? 45. So again, we can still use count if, okay? And then the range will be these, right? And then since you're looking for the age, all you need to do is to put that logical expression inside double quote. So how do we do that? Okay, open quote and then greater than 45 and then close quote. Okay, that means that any numbers being fetched from this range will be tested if it is over 45 and then close parenthesis and 3, right? You have 1, 2, and 3. Next, you have number of males of 45 or less. Okay, so we are gonna use count ifs. Okay, now their difference is that when you use count ifs, it gives you an option to perform multiple logical expressions. Okay, so for example, count ifs. Okay, so it's looking for a criteria range 1. Okay, so let's look for males first. So I'm gonna go to gender, and then what is my criteria? If it's a male, right? And then it is looking for criteria range 2. Since I'm looking for number of males who are 45 years or old or less, I'm gonna go to age and then set my other criteria to less than, okay, open quote, less than 45, close quote, and then you close it, and then it will give you, okay, hold on, okay, here you go. Sorry about that. There has to be double close parenthesis because I got 1, 2, and then, yeah, 1, 2, right? So it gave me 2, right? So there are 2 males who are less than 45. You have 1, 2. Because this guy is 48 years old, right? So how about um, the average age of the females? So all we need to do is to use the average function, average if, right? So how do we do that? Average if, okay. Earlier we learned about average, okay. That is to average a range of cells that has numbers, but this time we are to average the age of the females, okay. So it is looking for a range. Range of what? Let's look for the females first, okay. Here in the gender, and it is looking for a criteria, meaning we're looking for female, so quote and quote female, and then it is looking for the average range. So which particular part right here you are trying to average, right? Since we are trying to average the ages, so I'm gonna highlight this part right here, close it, and then hit enter. So that means that the average age of all females, 1, 2, and 3, is 45.666667. Okay, how about the average males over 45 salaries? Okay, so we're talking about the salary of a male, right, who is over 45. So we are still going to use, I mean, sorry, we are going to use average Fs, okay, with an S. Okay, so average Fs, and it's looking for an average range. Okay, so we're trying to average this one, and then it is looking for you guys to know what what to do next is just see, just look at this part right here. Okay, it will certainly give you an idea to which part you are right now from a certain function. So this one, it's looking for, hold up, um comma, and then the criteria range, right? So we should be basing males, hold on, here. Okay, and then it is looking for the criteria if it's a male, right? And the next, it is looking for criteria range 2 here if it's what, over 45, right? So over 45, there we go. So again, this is the part to where we are, trying to average. It talks about average range. This part right here are the criteria and the criteria. I mean the criteria range and the criteria, right? This one, we're looking for if it's a male, and this one, we're looking for if it's over 45 years old. So let's hit enter, and that gives us 7234. It is because there's this only one guy who is over 45 and a male, and when you try to average his salary, since there's just one of them, 723 7234, okay, divided by 1, that makes 7234 alone. Okay, so sum of the female salary. Okay, so for us to do this, we need to use count if, or count if. No, sum if, sorry, that's sum if. Okay, so let's start. Sum if range. So it's looking for a certain range of what? A range of what you are trying to look for. And since you're trying to look for all females, so I'm gonna go ahead for gender. And then what should be my criteria if it's female? And then my sum range, or cells that I'd like to sum or to add, should be from this one. Okay, now once done, close parenthesis, hit enter. So if you try to add all female salaries, it equals to 14,825. There are 1, 2, 3 of them. Okay, and then sum of females um, under 41. Okay, so let's do this. Equal symbol, and then this time you are going to use some ifs. Okay, again, the difference between a function that is I mean that has no s and that has an s is that if it's a certain function that has an s, for example, um, average ifs or count ifs or some ifs with an s, okay, it will give you a capability to test two or more logical expressions. Okay, so first do this. Again, we are looking for a sum range, right? So we're looking for a certain set of cells that we can sum. So the monthly salary, of course, right? And then comma, it is looking for a criteria range 1, your first criteria, which is the gender. So female, okay, comma, and then write down female. And then your criteria range 2, since you're looking for under 41 years old, should be the age, right? So here, and then your criteria should be less than 41 years old, right? And then close, hit enter. So the sum of the females, or the females under 41 salaries is 9,602, right? So let's see. Female under 41, female under 41. This one, 9262. That's one. So there's just only one female, right? That has, or a female that's below 41 years old. So pretty much that's it. Everything about okay, so right now let's put that into one final application. So let's perform some formatting and sorting, right? So we have right here some task, okay, that we need to accomplish to given with these set of data, okay? So first, let's deal with split names into first and last name using split text to column under data in the menu bar. This is actually the instruction specifically for Google Sheet, but for Microsoft Excel, okay, we can split this one. So all we need to do is we can add, okay, um, column cells on the right and one more, okay. So this will become first name, first name, and then this will become last name. Okay. So for us to do this, okay, we can just simply highlight all names, okay, and then go to data, and then let's go to text to columns here, and then delimited, and then instead of comma, use space here, and then the destination will be from here to here, and then click finish, and then there you go. So we got the names separated, right? So very well. Number two, format salary with currency in South African rand and no decimals. So the salary here, let's format the salary into South African rand with no decimals. So highlight everything, okay? Go to home, and then go to general. You go to more number formats. You go to currency, and then you look for that African rand. African rand normally displays are here, Africans. Okay, so R, and then decimal places. Since it says that there should be no decimal places, make this into 0, so it will be a whole number. Okay, and then hit OK. Here we go. So very good. So I'm just gonna highlight this one. Okay, number 3, add annual salary column. Okay, so for us to do that, okay, you click on column J. You need to insert another column, and you write down annual salary. Salary. There we go. Okay, and then for us to do that, okay, we need to put an equation. Monthly salary times 12. And it give me this annual salary, and I could drop this down since this is just relative referencing. Okay, so this one pertains to this. This one pertains to this one. Okay, very well. That's good. So let's continue. Format phone number as this one. This is how actually we see phone numbers, right? The first 3 or first 2 is the area code, and it's sometimes enclosed in close and open parentheses. So let's go with the phone number. Okay. So here, highlight everything. Okay. And then you need to go to general, and then you need to go to more number formats, and you need to look for anything that says special, right? So here, that's the option right before custom, second to the last. You need to look for anything that says phone number, and just in case if the phone number is in US, so for example, okay, it will look like this, and here we go. You got the phone number formatted. Okay, so we're done. Let's have make the header bold and align to center. So header bold, since all header are on the row 16. Okay, so click that row, and then click bold, and then click center. There we go. All right, so we're good. Add borders. Okay, so simply highlight everything right here, and then drop down this one, and then all borders. So you got all borders here. Okay, that is good. Now next, add alternating colors for each row. So if you want to, put a custom color for your table, highlight everything, okay, and look for format as table. So from here you can choose, whatever design or format you'd like for your table. Let's use this one. This one, Aqua Table Style Light 7, and then this basically will pop in. It will ask you if your table has headers, and since our table has headers, I'm gonna check that checkbox and hit OK. So as you can see, this will say that name, first name, last name, and so on and so forth are all headers, right? Now, add alternating color for each row. We have done that, right? Blue, white, blue, white, blue, white. Okay, we're good. And then use conditional formatting, highlight ages over 45. So what we need to do is we need to highlight the age, and then since we need to highlight ages 45, so we need to use highlight cells rules. Okay, and then since it is over 45, it should be greater than. So if, okay, these range of cells, okay, is 45 or greater than 45, I would like to have it green filled with dark green text, right? So, oops, okay, I'm gonna change it. So let's have it like custom. Maybe the red will do. Okay, there you go. So these are the people who are 45 years old and above. So I have colored them red. Okay, there you go. So that's pretty much for conditional formatting, and you can do a lot, right? Greater than, less than, between, equal to. If text contains, right? If a certain text contains this, and then you will format it this way. Okay, so let's have adjust the columns width to ensure everything fits. So how do we do that? Is we just simply highlight here. Okay. Okay, hold on. So highlight all of these, and then if you would like to right fit everything, okay, edge to edge for the width, you need to highlight column B to column N, and then look for this at the very um, corner, and then double click, and it will right fit everything. Okay, so you can see, we can see all the details, okay, with no overlapping, right? So we're done with um, number 9. Number 10, sort the table alphabetically, or order using the first name. So first name. So I'm gonna go ahead and sort everything using the first name. So simple. Highlight the first name, and then look for sort and filter under editing. Drop that down and then change A to Z. And there we go. So we got them sorted alphabetically, right? So very well. And then lastly, we need to filter out individuals who have 3 children and more. So for you to do this, you highlight everything, okay, on the table, and then see this part right here that says sort and filter, right? So you need to drop that down. You click filter, okay? It's like a funnel symbol. Click on that, and you will notice you will see drop down button, right? There's a drop down icon, right? So for you to filter um, individuals who have 3 children or more, okay, that's 3 or more, click this thing down, and then you would just uncheck, select all, and then select 3, 4, 5, because that's individuals who have children's number of children's 3 and up, right? So this will give me only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 individuals that has, well, 3 children and up. So that's pretty much it, and I hope this has helped you. So thank you so much, and good luck.